China is grappling with economic downturn pressures, as both domestic and foreign demands dwindle, and unemployment rates soar. Some citizens, left with no alternative, have turned to opening brick-and-mortar stores for livelihood. However, the prevailing economic slump and lagging consumer spending have led many to incur losses and even shoulder debts.
It seems I'm the only one whose store faces closure after just opening. The rent is exorbitantly high at 7,000 yuan, about $984 per month, and it's impossible to make ends meet.
There's already an unemployment wave in Guangzhou. People are lining up for delivery and ride-hailing jobs. The foreign trade manufacturing sector has halved. The real estate and its related industries are in depression. Many Taiwanese and foreign investors have left, and numerous small and medium business owners are bankrupt, selling their properties. Even those not bankrupt are experiencing extremely low profits, which means employees' incomes have taken a hit. A question for my fellow business owners: how many of you, like me, are stuck with an unprofitable store? Closing it or keeping it open seems equally hopeless. Throughout the year, we face losses in the off-season and minimal profits during the peak season, barely breaking even over 12 months. In our commercial street of about 40 to 50 shops, less than 10 are still operating. Only one restaurant remains open, while others, along with bars, repair shops, small supermarkets, and dental clinics, have ceased operations.
Due to the prolonged economic slump, small and medium-sized enterprises across various sectors in China are facing closures. Some have suffered hundreds of thousands of yuan in losses after only a few months of operation.
Look at the malls now. They're empty except for the salespeople. We physical store owners are struggling to survive. This huge 3-story mall hardly has any customers.
It's December, but there's little consumer spending. People seem to have lost their desire to consume, probably because earning money has become more difficult in the past couple of years, compounded by pressures of life, repaying mortgages, car loans, and raising children. Previously, regardless of the price, our clothes would sell, but now customers weigh their options, opting for cheaper clothes or not buying new ones at all, leading to a significant downturn in the apparel industry.
According to mainland media reports, Sun Wei, who operates a snack discount store in Suzhou, disclosed that his store, open for 8 months, incurred a loss of 700,000 yuan, about $98,000. Doing business is challenging in cities, and even snack stores in towns are struggling. Sun Wei was inspired earlier this year by the booming business of several local snack discount stores and decided to open one himself. Drawing on his previous experience in the supermarket business, he understood the importance of location for snack discount stores, which required displaying over 1,000 products and at least 120 square meters in size. The annual rent for the store he acquired was a staggering 300,000 yuan, about $42,000, with an additional business purchase fee of 200,000 yuan, about $28,000. Sun Wei decided to abandon the franchise model and restructure the supply chain to maximize the profitability of his store. Sun Wei invested around 1.3 million yuan, approximately 183,000 in total, before opening the store, including costs for store renovation, inventory stocking, and various cash register equipment. The store opened in early April last year. For the first 2 months, the daily turnover stabilized at 8,000 yuan. However, the store still wasn't profitable, with expenses like staff salaries, rent, and utility bills. Even with a gross profit margin of 25%, the store needed a daily turnover of at least 10,000 yuan just to break even. After July, with the opening of several similar stores in the area, Sun Wei's store suffered a significant decline in customers, causing daily sales to plummet to about 3,500 yuan, around $490. Operating at a loss every day, Sun Wei closed his store in October. He cautions aspiring entrepreneurs of snack discount stores to heed his experience. What about the small towns? In Anhui Province's Jishou City, Linquan County, and Henan Province's Shenqiu County, snack discount stores are struggling. Although fixed costs like rent and staff salaries are much cheaper in towns compared to big cities, customer traffic is also lower, with a limited core consumer group and purchasing power. These challenges make it difficult for retail stores to thrive. The customer base in these markets primarily consists of rural residents from nearby areas. However, with most young people working away from home, the local population is predominantly elderly, leading to severe aging and hollowing out of these areas. Moreover, Parents, considering their children's health, often limit the amount and frequency of snack purchases, resulting in low footfall in snack discount stores in towns. Many physical store owners on the mainland have had experiences similar to Sun Wei. A netizen shared, "I opened a few stores before the pandemic, each about 20 to 30 square meters, but didn't make much profit, mainly due to franchise fees. The gross margin was at most 25%. I advise against it. It's difficult and easy to incur losses." Some netizens believe that many people open retail stores because of the high unemployment rate. One said, "Now many people want to do business and open stores because it's hard to find a job." China's real estate market was once one of the most lucrative industries, a product of over 40 years of rapid economic growth. However, this bubble expanded to unsustainable levels after President Xi Jinping came to power, and the slump in real estate has had a significant impact on downstream enterprises. Weighed down by the real estate market, by the end of 2023, China witnessed the collapse of 75 major interior renovation companies, with Jiangsu province accounting for 21 bankruptcies, leading the nation in interior renovation company failures. Next up is 18 in Zhejiang, 10 in Anhui, 9 in Hunan, and 6 in Guangdong, making up the next top 4 provinces in this downturn. Most companies declaring bankruptcy were insolvent, and additionally, some larger publicly listed companies were impacted by defaults and financial crises among Chinese real estate firms this year, resulting in difficulty in recovering payments. For the remaining interior renovation companies in the increasingly competitive market, times are tough. A Chengdu dealer revealed to Chinese media that from the perspective of end-market performance, the home renovations market is facing mounting challenges. Most dealers express that taking on projects now is more about maintaining brand visibility and market share, with virtually no profit to be made. One dealer noted that for businesses dealing in ceramic products like floor tiles, entering the renovations market is more about maintaining market share. When it comes to profits, there's hardly any. Many dealers lamented, "In this fiercely competitive market, if you don't secure your position, you'll be swallowed up." An interior renovation company owner, Yang Yi, quoted in a report by China's financial news platform Yi Tsai that the reason for the struggles in the renovations industry this year is twofold: reduced enthusiasm among homebuyers and operational difficulties faced by some real estate companies, leading to a decrease in home purchase rates. The second reason is that many people are experiencing reduced savings, leading to consumption downgrade and lower demand, causing some customers to delay buying or decorating homes. China Index Academy, the largest independent real estate data company in China, released a report stating that during the 3-day New Year holiday, the average daily sales area of houses in 40 Chinese cities dropped by 26% year-over-year. The report added that the housing sales situation is even worse in smaller cities, with declines as high as 50%. The Chinese steel industry is also in dire straits. Chinese media reports cite several industry insiders, saying that in 2023, the sector faced its most severe challenges in 5 years. Steel prices have significantly dropped, profits of steel companies have drastically shrunk, and steel distribution businesses are finding it increasingly difficult to operate. Li Gang, the co-chair of the China Association of Metal Scrap Utilization, has stated that over 70% of the 2,000 steel processing enterprises in China are operating at a loss. Among these, 500 larger-scale enterprises are experiencing losses of up to 80%. Out of 38 publicly listed steel companies, only 8 made actual profits in the first 9 months of the year. Netizens on mainland China have been actively discussing the issue, with one commenting, "No one is buying houses anymore, so there's no need to build them. Without construction, there's no need for steel," leading to poor performance of steel mills and widespread unemployment in the sector. Another netizen shared, "Most of the factory owners around me have gone bankrupt, with a few relocating to countries like Vietnam and India. Those who haven't moved are heavily in debt. Attempts at transformation and upgrading have failed. The middle class has fallen back into poverty. After 3 years of prolonged internal consumption, we have fallen far behind the world." Other users added, "Not just steel, all industries in China are struggling. Which industry isn't just surviving by the skin of their teeth?" Here is another example. China, being the world's largest pork producer and consumer, is facing difficulties in its pork industry. Slow recovery in demand, overcapacity, and an imbalance between supply and demand have led to financial troubles for publicly listed pig companies. In the first 3 quarters of 2023, 3 leading Chinese pig supply companies, Muyuan Foods, Wen's Foodstuff, and New Hope, incurred net losses exceeding 10 billion yuan, about $1.4 billion, with the pig sector's combined net loss totaling 16.7 billion yuan, about $2.4 billion. These losses have led to increasingly tight finances, with the average debt-to-asset ratio of publicly listed pig supply companies reaching 62.3%, an all-time high. Data indicates a growing problem of bad debts throughout the nation. Zhang Kongji, a trader from Changsha City, Hunan, turned to online loans during the pandemic to address urgent financial needs, only to fall into a debt crisis, becoming one of the millions of indebted individuals in China. Zhang told Voice of America, "I started borrowing money 2 or 3 years ago. Online loans were easy to obtain, so I took them. But I've been unable to repay, accumulating over 100,000 yuan in debt. No one can help. The only option is to delay repayment." The Financial Times, citing data from Chinese local courts, noted that the default rate among Chinese borrowers has reached a record high. A total of 8.5 million people are in arrears with mortgages and commercial loans, officially blacklisted by the government. This is a significant increase from 5.7 million at the start of 2020, when the pandemic began and almost all economic activities came to a halt. Even as the pandemic ends, a significant number of debtors facing salary reductions or unemployment find themselves unable to repay debts and consequently blacklisted. An economist based in Beijing, who has chosen to remain anonymous due to repeated warnings from government agencies, expressed that the continuous eruption of problems in the real estate sector has severed cash flows for many industries. Speaking to Voice of America, the economist said, "China's economy has relied on the real estate sector for the past 30 years. But now, as the sector collapses, with giants like Evergrande and Country Garden going bankrupt and suspended from trading, the cash flow from real estate has dried up, leading many to lose their fortunes and struggle with high mortgage repayments." The anonymous economist further added that besides borrowing from banks, private enterprises in China also engage in mutual lending, forming an informal financing network that has existed for a long time. While this system functioned well during stable economic times, the past 3 years of the pandemic, combined with reduced orders due to the China-US trade war, have led to severe cash flow issues for many businesses, exacerbating the debt crisis. Since the Chinese government fully implemented the social credit system in 2020, linking it with individual financial behaviors, those blacklisted by authorities for debts have seen their credit ratings plummet, making it difficult to secure new loans. Their involvement in even basic economic activities is severely restricted or even prohibited. This includes buying airplane tickets and access to major electronic payment platforms in mainland China like Alipay and WeChat Pay. In severe cases, individuals are barred from civil service positions and using toll highways. With electronic payment platforms having replaced cash as the most common method of payment in China, and many stores even refusing cash payments, those blacklisted due to debts find themselves in dire straits. They said that being unable to use electronic payment platforms means they can't even purchase food, adding to their financial woes.